What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Just cleaning up, knocking out a bunch of reels, getting ready to head to the Bassmaster Classic sometime this week. It should be fun. It's in Knoxville. Went there in 2019. Incredible. There's like 138,000 people there for the 3 days of the expo. 3 days. Awesome. The launch is great. The weigh-in's amazing. The expo is great. So if you saw my last video, picked up some rods from Dobbins. Picked up another. I think this is probably going to be the ultimate crank rod for this specific crank that I threw pretty much all last year, especially for smallmouth. And let me see if I can grab one from over here. I think I got a couple in the boat. All right, so I threw this bait a bunch last year. It's a Megabass Z3. Got them in different colors. I've got pretty much every color up there, doubled up, tripled up, quadrupled up. Just been a great crankbait. It's very small. It doesn't weigh much. I think it weighs about 3/8 of an ounce. So this little guy right here, this guy's probably caught 70 plus smallmouth to it. I swapped out the hooks to the Megabass Kasuji hooks. It's a little bit bigger hook than comes with it. It comes with really small hooks. Never had a problem with smallmouth with the hooks. It's just after when you catch 50, 60, 70, 80 fish on it, the hooks just get a little beat up, especially if you're using pliers. They either break or they just get dull. So I swapped out hooks to the Kasuji hooks. And when I was throwing it up north, I was throwing it on one of my jerkbait rods. So it pretty much took away throwing a jerkbait to throw a crankbait. So I just decided when I was at Dobbins to pick up what I think is going to be the ultimate rod for this Vet At crank and the smaller cranks like the Bandit 200s, 100s, the smaller rattle traps that I'm going to throw. I can just I can just untie, cut it off, put on a rattle trap. And it's the Champion. It's the Dobbins Champion. It's a 764 CB. So it is 7'6" for power. It should be extremely easy to bomb those crankbaits a long way. The specs are 8 to 14 pound line, 1/4 to 3/4 ounce medium mod fast. It's a wiggle wart, deep little end, DT10s, DP6s. I throw a lot of wiggle warts as well, especially this time of year in Missouri and the Midwest, just because it's a phenomenal bait around Table Rock, like the Ozarks, Bull Shoals, Palmy. Even the river, it's pretty good just because it's a slow cranking little bait. This is going to be amazing to throw that, and then to throw those Z3s when I'm up in St. Clair, Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin, Minnesota maybe. Throwing for smallies, cranking for largies as well. I've got a bunch of the shad ones and the bluegill and the art series, I think they're called, fine art series, that look like shads and bait fish. I threw it a ton last year, not only for smallmouth, but I threw it a ton last year for largies. It's a little more finesse presentation. They get down to like 13 feet. I think it's 13 feet. That's the Sonicide one. Yeah, 4.3 meters. It weighs 3/8 of an ounce. It is 53 millimeters. So yeah, for that tiny little bait, it gets down very quickly. It casts really well. It's got the weight transfer system to it. So I decided to pick up a dedicated rod just for cranking, since I don't do enough deep cranking, and I did a ton last year. So I've got that cranking rod paired with it's got a Daiwa TDZ Type R Plus. This is a 5:7 to 1 gear ratio. Just because a lot of torque, I can speed it up if I really need to, or I can just crawl it on the bottom with the gear ratio on it. This is a Japanese reel. It's a TDZ. It's amazing. It's probably like 20 plus years old, and it's in phenomenal condition. I've got a few of them. And then for my deeper cranks, heavier stuff, I'll go back to the Champion 805 CB glass. Actually, I don't mind the glass. It's not too bad. It's a little thick. As you can tell, this is the graphite one, the 764, and that's the glass version. So yeah, the glass is gonna be a lot thicker and a little bit heavier. Not terrible though. This combo right here is extremely light. I will probably actually go inside and U40 the cork instead of leaving the plastic on, since it bugs so many people, maybe like one or two, but whatever. And I've got this one paired with the Daiwa Steez A HLC 6.3-to-1. Phenomenal casting, reel. That's why I've got it on the Long Bomb crankbait rod. So I will probably use this as well up north for smallies. I will just put on a little bit heavier, bigger crankbait, or I can use this for my heavier, bigger traps up there instead of eating up all my jerkbait rods for multiple stuff, because I tend to throw like a 110, a 100, or a 78 DD, or a 110+1, and I like to have them all laid out. I don't have to worry about switching line or going to switching baits and retying and all that kind of stuff. I just have it right there, ready to roll, so I can just throw them and catch giant smallies. So that is it on those two rods. Should be fun. I gotta spool them up here probably next week when I get home. And then if you saw the big oops with the graph, it's kind of disgusting. It still kind of hurts, but that is it right here. I don't want to drop it because I'll break it again. Yeah, so I shattered the screen. I told you guys about it, but here it is in the flesh. I shattered my Lowrance 12 Live screen. The unit still worked perfectly. I'm either gonna contact Lowrance this week before I leave, or I'll just see them at the Classic, ask them, see what they charge, see if they can replace it. If not, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and just seal this area right here, and then I might actually get some graph glass and stick a graph glass over this, so I don't have to worry about any of this glass getting into my fingers. The touchscreen still works. Everything still works functionality-wise. It works fantastic. It's just the screen got shattered, and as you can see, I hit it. If I was an inch higher, it would have been just fine, but I smoked it with a 5/8 ounce Pro Mega Omega jig, flipping for bedfish. And normally I'm bed fishing perpendicular to the boat because I know this happens fairly often with a lot of people. I've known people to do it, but this time I was facing off the front of the boat, fishing beds all in front of me, and one smoked it, and unfortunately it spit it out and hit my graph instead. Just one of those unfortunate accidents that happens. I'm also gonna look into like insurance. I don't remember what my deductible is since we just switched, but it sucks, but it's not a huge deal. It could have been massively worse. There could have been a person in the boat and they got smoked in the face or the eye or something. So if it's just a glass, it's fine. It's whatever it is. But that is it, guys. I'm gonna go spool this guy up because I want to throw this thing. I might actually take this reel upstairs and clean it and go work on it. So I will talk to you guys later. Appreciate you guys for watching. Smash it up. Let me know about the graph. If you know anything, if you can replace it, if there's any kind of like liquid that I can shoot into there to kind of seal it up a little bit, post down below. But I appreciate you guys. Talk to you later. Peace.